Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. So let's get into this topic here today. So as you guys know, the Lakers were able to beat the Phoenix Suns last night in pretty convincing fashion. The Lakers won 101-73. LeBron James played exceptionally well, 28 points, 28 points, 4 steals, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. 6 rebounds on 62% shooting from the field, 100% shooting from the three. So LeBron had a good game. Other guys chipped in like Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Luke Kennard, and some other people, right? So it was a good team win. And at the end of that, LeBron decided to make some statements because you know LeBron how he likes to do things. He did promise us the thunderstorm that was coming, but well, I'll leave it to the LOLs in the comment section to address that. But anyway, this morning I was going through the internet here and I came across an article from heavy.com saying Lakers LeBron James sends strong message after dominant win. I'm like, what did LeBron James say this time? But before we even get into his comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the playoff push is heating up. Tournament hoops are here. The Masters is underway, and the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. There's no better way to cash in if you're right on all of this action than PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. So I jumped into their team picks feature, and honestly, I had no idea why I waited this long. First time I tried it, I was picking game winners on some of these games. Came out right on my first one, and watching the game just hit completely different after that. And here's what I love. On top of the players' picks you already know, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals. You can even call who wins the championship or takes home the MVP. Mix and match across basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, all in the same app. And if your picks get off to a hot start, you can cash out early before the game even ends. Now download the PrizePicks app today, pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on, and get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, so let's get into it. It says the Los Angeles Lakers have been navigating one of the more turbulent stretches of their season. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves both went down to injuries within days of each other, and the losses were devastating. The team dropped 3 straight games before a much-needed win on Thursday against the Golden State Warriors. With both likely to miss the first round, the playoff picture suddenly looks a lot more daunting. On Friday night, at least, the Lakers looked like a team that refused to fold. The Lakers held the Phoenix Suns to 73 points in a dominant 101-73 victory at home. Their defensive performance of the best defensive performance of the season. The Phoenix Suns only managed 25 points in the second half and 9 in the fourth quarter as the Lakers imposed its will from start to finish. The win, combined with the Houston Rockets losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves, secured the top 4 seed for the Western Conference and home court advantage for the first round for JJ Redick's team. Given everything their roster has absorbed, that means that is a meaningful accomplishment. It says LeBron steps back into familiar role. LeBron has been carrying the Lakers offensively since the 2 co-stars went down, and the numbers reflected over the last 3 games. He's averaging 21, 12.5 assists, 10.7 rebounds while shooting 60% from the floor and over 46% from 3. The production has been exceptional by any standard. After Friday's win, James was candid about the moment. He asked what the moment has asked of him. I had to tap back into the role that I've been accustomed to in the past, James said. I'm trying to feed off my teammates and my teammates feeding off of me. I'm just trying to make things happen and for us to stay afloat. These words carry weight of someone who has done this before. James has been the primary option of playoff contenders teams over 2 decades. The role is familiar even if the circumstances are not ideal. Against the Suns Friday, he led all scorers with 28 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals. And then it goes on to say something that Dave McMenamin posted on Twitter there. What are my thoughts about this? First of all, obviously, LeBron James played very well. There's no doubt about it. But we got to keep some of this in the context here. First of all, the Lakers did beat a play-in team and a team above 500 in the Phoenix Suns. And then they also beat the Golden State Warriors, right? So they won 2 games in a row. But prior to that, they lost by 30-something points, I think, to the 36 points, I think it was, to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then they lost to the Mavericks. LeBron played in that game. Then they lost to the Thunder, right? So the Lakers had lost 3 games in a row before winning the last 2. One against the Warriors team that was absolutely depleted, and then against the Phoenix Suns team that, although they're the 7th seed, they're not really that good. And if my memory serves me right, I'm not even sure Devin Booker played, but that's not really an excuse because Luka Doncic and those guys didn't play as well. I guess what I'm trying to say here is we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And I feel like LeBron fans especially have this symptom. They have this sickness of getting ahead of themselves too soon. And then when things don't go well, all of a sudden the sky is falling and they're scrambling. Let's be for real. The Lakers, even with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, are not the best team in the Western Conference. I think there are 3 teams that are definitively better than them. Denver, OKC, Spurs. Definitively, that is if they are at full strength. All right. So it's important to bear that in mind. Number 1. Number 2, they're going to be going into the first round without those 2 players. So I wouldn't base these last 2 games on anything beyond the fact that, they just secured the 4th seed. That's it. It's not indicative of what's going to happen in round 1 because they're going to be playing in the playoffs. It's going to be a different thing. Teams are going to be able to key in on LeBron, and they're going to force other players to make plays like Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, Luke Kennard, and all of this. Number 1. Number 2, field goal shooting percentages go down tremendously in the playoffs. I remember this distinctively when I was supporting the Clippers, and I remember Marcus Morris Sr. at one point was shooting 48% from 3 in a regular season, and they got into a playoff round. I forgot the year. And his shooting percentages plummeted. His 3-point shooting, it just plummeted. I'm like, what happened? This guy was such a great perimeter shooter throughout the regular season. So we mustn't confuse that. And we can't get excited off of beating the Warriors and the Suns and teams like this. And then the Jazz, most likely, who I think the Lakers will beat. I don't know if they may sit. I think they'll probably sit LeBron for that game. There's no point in him playing because they have nothing to lose. So LeBron's going to sit that game and the Lakers may win or lose. It doesn't matter. But then now they're going to be playing legitimate playoff teams. Even if you look at the game last night against Houston versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was a very, very, very competitive game. Houston is not the Suns. Kevin Durant is not Dylan Brooks. Like, they're going to be levels to this, and they're going to be playing some top-of-the-shelf talent and Şengün and all of that. And players like Ayton and these guys have to step up. JJ Redick's coaching has to step up. So they're going to have some really, really serious, opponents that they're going to be facing in next week, right? So I think LeBron may be doing this to instill some confidence in his teammates, but there's a difference between instilling confidence in your teammates and now getting into this whole arrogant talk, because that's what usually happens, and then things don't work out, and then all of a sudden everybody's crying. These are my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think about in the comments, and we catch y'all later. Peace.